Bada baby. We in business, baby.
Oh, fuck, that was terrible. Was that our intro?
That's the intro.
So, CJ, how's your week been?
How has it's been all right. Nothing too eventful. Yeah, no. Last episode I told you about the homeless guy situation. That's the most interesting thing that's happened recently. Nothing's been going on.
Huh.
How about you?
I have a blank on the past week. I have no idea if anything exciting happened. I had to take a rat to the vet.
Oh, okay. Oh, why?
It had fucking a congestion issue, and I had to pay $80 to get this goddamn rat looked at.
Man, I'm assuming that's what Christine is. Pet rats?
Oh, there are pet rats.
Okay.
Yeah, don't let her claim them. I love these rats. I love these little bastards.
Sounds good. I'm sorry to hear that. Does it have a name, this rat, or is it just part of the collective?
It's Moya.
Moya got sick?
Moya. Yeah. You never watched Farscape. I'll make you watch Farscape one day.
You've tried. I remember one day we skipped through we just watched the first part of one episode, and then we were like, nah, we're not feeling this right now.
I don't think that was Farscape. I think that was something else.
Oh, okay. I remember it was very cheesy and British, right?
British?
I guess not.
Farscape's Australian.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's probably right.
But the main character's American, so I don't think you'd pick up on that.
Oh, okay. I just remember it started off with fucking, whoa, so.
Yeah. So they were, blimey, bloody hell!
that's they all doing that whole
Let's
west
have
side
some
of
fish
Europe.
and chips, cheerio!
Cheerio!
Tea time!
Captain Crunch!
I need a lager! Is the internet still hating on British people? Are we still allowed to be racist against them?
I thought we were always allowed to be racist towards the English.
Oh, but it's been particularly bad lately because of the fucking whole Euro Cup. They've been fucking bastards, I guess.
Oh, okay. I don't follow anything. Fuck the English, dude.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, messed up teeth. Ha.
Oh.
What?
William Shakespeare.
Oh, you guys are the leaders of Western thought in history. Oh, not dentistry.
I wouldn't even call them leaders of Western thought, dude. They got the Germans and the French to compete with, and the frickin' Russians. I don't know if Russians count as Western, but
yeah, I wouldn't count Russians. Okay, so for today's albums, we've got the Suburbs by Arcade Fire, which we're starting with.
No, because I picked the category, so we start with your album.
Okay. Well, a good thing I put most of my efforts into the Suburbs. Unfortunately, I listened to.
No, that's fine. I did too, which is fucked up.
Yeah,
we both kind of double teamed that one.
That's fine. Yoshimi battles the. I was gonna hope to prepare my overall theories about things to 5-minute gap at the top, but I'm gonna have to improvise it, unfortunately, and I am not a good improviser, so
that's fine. I can kind of chip in.
Okay, I'll try to wrap up my thoughts on Yoshimi. I listened to it 3 or 4 times.
Okay, so we're about in the same boat then.
Yeah. As far as recency, but I've had this album in my spinning my collection. I've been spinning it for a decade, occasionally, And when I first listened to it, a good couple of times, so it's at least been around. I'm familiar with it. Never paid attention to the lyrics though.
Really? Not even do you realize the most ham-fisted fucking lyrics ever?
No, not really. Yeah, I think I knew the chorus. Probably, I probably didn't memorize the verses.
Yeah.
Just let it play in the background. So, Wayne Coyne is really big. Oh, dude, if you can give a background on Flaming Lips stuff too. I didn't have any time to research their history as a band, which I know I've done a long time ago, and that they have all sorts of.
I should know a lot, but my favorite description of the Flaming Lips is there was this compilation of their albums came out called "The Punk Rockers Are Finally Doing Acid."
Okay.
And that kind of fills in the early Flaming Lips career in my head. It's all that punk rock stuff kind of psyched out. And then they got Poppy and Wayne Coyne and fucking... I forget the producer's name, but the producer of the Flaming Lips, Yoshimi, and Soft Bulletin is also the longtime bassist of Mercury Rev. He also produces all the Mercury Rev albums, so
Holy
there's that connection
shit.
there. Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
They're really good friends, both bands.
That's dope. I can really hear the connection. I wouldn't have expected. Like, you're saying he produced both?
Yeah.
Wow, dude, his
he
production
produces
on Flaming Lips is way more clear and concise. But
Dude, have you listened to the fucking Mercury Rev that like happens at the same time as Flaming Lips? Like their careers
Probably
go
not.
like parallel with each other.
Okay.
It's like when fucking Flaming Lips got better produced, Mercury Rev also got better produced.
No, I've
and
only
less punk rock and more poppy.
okay. I've listened to their top three, and Deserter's song was definitely a departure into like more
Deserter Song came out right before the
hearable
Soft
music.
Bulletin.
Okay, yeah. So I haven't listened since then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I really got. I don't know much about Wayne other than he's a really nice dude in any interview I've watched with him.
Yeah, he seems a little. I don't know. There's something off about Wayne, dude.
There's something off about him. You mean like how he has stars glued to his face
he has
all
stars
the time?
glued to his face. His hair is all crazy. He's
I love his crazy hair.
always sporting some sort of tux jacket. I don't know. He's definitely image conscious in some sort of strange way. But it's weird to like to look at all that stuff and be like, but also he's like an experimental big thing. You know, he's a big dude.
Yeah, and it's like I don't think anyone else other than Wayne Coyne is gonna A, get the ability, and B, want to work with Miley Cyrus like in his same position. Like,
yeah.
He's willing to work with anyone just to make something fucking weird. Like, have you ever like seen his album that's just a cover of Dark Side of the Moon? Just he gets a bunch of other people to jump on there with him.
Yeah, I actually listened to that once.
Yeah. And Henry Rollins does some singing for some fucking reason.
It was before I was actually really into music, so I don't think I could appreciate it as well as I ought to.
It's not that great.
Yeah, I remember not being too into it. They had like Danger Mouse in there, Sparkle Horse.
Might have been.
Just a bunch of
Sparkle Horse, I think, was.
Yeah.
You ever listen?
Go ahead.
Not to get too off topic, but you ever listen to the album Sparkle Horse did with David Lynch?
We are here to get off topic. Yes, I did. That's why I ended up.
I've never listened to that, but I've heard it's really good.
Yeah. Oh, I think that has Danger Mouse on it too. Maybe
Really?
that's why I'm thinking in that direction. Great stuff.
Is it all like the same shit that he does at the end of Twin Peaks: The Return episodes?
I
Does
don't.
it sound like that?
I can't place what that is. It's a lot of him singing all like.
That kind of sounds like it.
It's
With
David-
Twin Peaks: The Return episodes, it's usually women doing like with
okay.
long synthesizer chords.
No, it's mostly David Lynch singing. And they take a lot of more weird. It's almost more of like a Tom Waits kind of like creepy alleyway music vibe, and then
that's cool.
David Lynch like singing in his own way, which I can only describe as being his own way. It gets kind of novel, but if you like it, then it's there. You know, he actually kind of sings similar to Mercury Rev and Flaming Lips, which
Oh, okay. He's got that kind of.
why the whiny kid voice.
It's not time. I can't do it. I just went straight to Tom Waits. It's the only impression I know.
It's like it's the strained voice. So Flaming Lips, yeah, I've always been interested in covering their whole career. You have quite a history with them already. You were deep into them. I think I've listened to 4 of their albums only. They're interesting. I've listened to their first 2 albums, oddly enough, and then Yoshimi and Softball.
Wait, so is that like, Oh My God and Telepathic Surgery?
No, not telepathic surgery. Is that telepathic surgery or telepathetic?
I forget. Oh, Here It Is. I've never
Here It
actually
Is,
listened to Here It Is.
Here It
I've
Is.
just kind of started with Oh My God and went
Okay.
on.
I actually like it. They're really interesting. Like as far as like experimental bands go, they're going to be much more accessible than your usual experimental band because I don't know if at some point in their career they were willing, but they aren't just going to like smack up shit really loud and be like, yeah, it's a fucking song. Ah!
I mean, Oh My God, it kind of.
Yeah, Oh My God has a couple of moments, but it's mixed into like, you know, they have a pop sensibility. There's always something
Totally.
structured in their song that they're trying to elevate that stuff toward. I feel like they're just such a weird. Like they did bubble concerts. People were inside the audience, like could get inside of bubbles, and Wayne Coyne himself would get in bubbles and just roll on top of the audience.
Well, that was during COVID.
That was exclusively during COVID.
Well, they always have done the bubble shows, but the bubble shows, the band would solely be on bubbles. And
Oh,
the
okay.
band would,
So
like,
having the
roll over the
audience is
cloud.
new.
Yeah, that was just for COVID that they did that.
That's so cool, though. Regardless,
I know, that's fucking awesome.
I mean, what band could have existed and been able to be like, well, we have Bubbles. We have.
We can still host shows, I think.
It's so wild. Like they're very whimsical. That's a good way. That's a good word.
Totally.
For it, right?
Yeah.
They had like one album called Zyreka that just the concept is fascinating, where they would have it was 4 discs, and the 4 discs are supposed to be played simultaneously on different speakers. And at some point, didn't they do like a concert where like?
Oh, see, you just gotta prime my memory, and then I'll remember everything.
Okay.
Can't do it. But yeah, they did their cassette concerts where they'd get like 100 friends or whatever in a parking lot together, and they'd give them each a cassette to put in their tape deck in their car, and they'd have them all play at once and just fucking party in the parking lot.
That's so wild.
It's so rad. But yeah, I've always wanted to throw a Zurika party. I have a copy. I just don't have enough stereo equipment to play it.
Oh, okay. Maybe when when I visit up there to No Landsville, I'll bring 2 boom boxes with me.
Oh no, I have it on vinyl. I have the least fucking usable format of Zurika.
I'll buy 3 vinyl players. Well, yeah, that's like the stuff that's generally caught my attention the most. They started off much more punky, and I can't really tell much about that, like what they did for punk or anything, except that I know that they were regarded. I know that they like toured and like lived inside of a car with like.
And they're very DIY. And somehow got signed to a major label.
I'm sure Ben's got some more in the tank.
I think like a big part of them getting signed to the major label too was like, yeah, we'll record a good album for you, but you also have to let us do this Zurika thing to get your money. Just fucking badass. I love that shit. But I don't know. I'm not too intimately familiar with any of the members other than Wayne and the producer in terms of their career.
Oh yeah, hey, we left Wayne. I want to go back to Wayne a little bit.
Oh yeah, go back.
Every time I see an interview with him, I think like he's nice, but I think it's like a weird nice to cover up that he's very strange and possibly really pretentious, but I can't tell.
Well, I mean, he's the lead singer of the Flaming Lips. You don't think it's a little pretentious? You ever see the one where he was interviewed by the little kid?
No. I don't know. There's something very off-putting about him, I find. Like, it seems like he's, like, kind of halfway not inside the same room.
You know,
as if he
might be a bit of an acid casualty.
Yeah, it's possible, too. But, it made great music. So he made, well, good thing he did the drugs, because it made some great tunes. Yoshimi battles the pig robots.
Named after a real person who actually played on this album.
And I had no idea about that, dude. That actually...
Yeah, neither did I until we listened to it this time.
That really excited me. But overall, just a quick summary of Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots. Wayne Coyne is big on saying that it's not a concept album. At least, all about Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots, I think. Because it definitely has overarching themes that are way, way shared. I believe.
See, the thing is, I always feel like the first 4 or 5 tracks on this album very much so feel like they're a conjoined unit. And then the rest of the album is kind of separate, but connects themes to the beginning.
Yeah. I that's exactly how I feel, too, is that the last 5 songs are all about a theme that supplements the storyline that is kind of full in the first 4 songs, which I actually think is confusing. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a really
what's going on with the story?
I think it's an unfocused lyrically album, I guess, but I guess it kind of fits what they're going for. Like they but I'm not sure. I'll let you counter argue that if you feel like that is not true. But they're definitely I get much more whimsy factor about the way that they go about their concepts and stuff. And
I mean, you get that. Yeah. I definitely get the whimsical nature of it, and I get kind of like an ennui feeling of fucking just like this. I think ennui is the wrong word. I love that word though. It's just so fun to say. Ennui.
I think you've told me what it is, and I don't remember what it is.
It's a feeling of listlessness and general discontent.
Okay.
But more French than that.
Okay.
And existential and shit. But there's kind of like this...
More like ennui.
Oh, dude. Ennui. Like my butt.
Oh, dude.
It's on a wee-wee.
Ben's doing gay sex. Ben's doing gay sex.
And, just kind of this looking forward kind of thing. This growing up thing. That's what I was going to say.
Yep.
That's what I was going to say connects these 2 albums.
Oh, interesting.
And maybe it's just my own projection of like fucking like almost going 30 and being like, oh fuck, my 20s are almost gone.
Yeah, because I didn't pick that up from Yoshimi necessarily, but the suburbs obviously. But
The
I
suburbs
could
very
I could
heavy,
I could
so.
see it inside of Yoshimi though. That was our new segment. Was that the new segment?
Yeah, that was it.
It was,
it was very brief. The new segment.
That was what is the album theme that was supposed to be there, which we'll rename later as something better.
But what you were going, continue your hypothesis.
Oh no, so there is no real hypothesis. I think that it's about love. I think that it's about losing an egotistical kind of love, or a possessive love, or a love that is centered on
synthetic.
Not necessarily synthetic, but reflecting like your ego, like a love that reflects who you are. But there's one song that's super contrary to that you could say, which is the first one, the fight song, where he's talking about how he regrets that he didn't fight for the possessing the girl,
Thought there was a virtue in always being cool.
Yeah, but I think that the rest of the album is a counterpoint to that first song, and that actually they are saying that kind of non-possessiveness is the goal.
Okay.
Yeah, I that's just what I got. I don't know how accurate that is by any means. So that's really the best summary I can get of any theory overall from the album.
No, that's fair. I definitely think this album is more musically focused than lyrically.
Yeah.
And that's why the biggest song off this album is Do You Realize? Because people can grab onto those lyrics for whatever reason.
Yeah. You don't sound like a fan of Do You Realize, do you?
I'm not really a big fan.
Let's get into the album.
Okay. You want to start with Fight Test?
Warm fucking bass, dude.
Dude, bass is warm.
Such a friendly fucking synthetic bass there.
And I really like the what's it called? The kind of reverb-y effect he has on his voice throughout the song.
Oddly enough, I kind of don't like his voice in this song. I actually took a note of that.
Really? I specifically like it during the chorus with the reverb.
Okay, during the It's All a Mystery. Is that the chorus?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. And I really like whatever that buzzy noise thing is.
That blam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I'd say that like, the unifying musical thing across the entirety of the album is like the hip hop beat, and then there's like I've really struggled to explain this actually, but I think it's like the best I can say is like it's almost like a 40s film score for like an epic film where like the orchestra builds and then it builds a little higher up towards something and then it like keeps on assessing its build. That's the best terms I can come up with.
I can kind of see it. I honestly just kind of get a general like sense of warm on every track on here.
Yeah,
like everything is very well blended together. There's no like sharp contrast. It's all like a flat, fucking good mix.
Yeah. The third item I was gonna say in the mix is the bubblegum bass. The bass is always the bass is always there, and it's always really friendly and such a good effect. I don't know what goes into finding a bass line that sounds as good as the one does in this album.
I don't know either. Like just like you mean like accessible.
Like accessible, and then also so distinct that you can be like, oh, that's the Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots bass. You know,
totally.
It's
I
like
get that.
It sounds like just it's got like a little pinch to make it sound like vaguely robotic, and then it sounds cartoony.
I think it's a synthesizer. Honestly, I don't know if it's an actual bass.
I can see that, but
I don't know. I'd have to see like a personnel list. I have one somewhere. I have the album somewhere with personnel, but.
And I don't know why, but I don't like the way that the guitar is isolated in the tracks in this one. But it doesn't matter. There's so much to pay attention to production-wise. Like,
no, and there's a lot going on. It's very that's kind of thing. It's kind of wall of sound is the wrong term, but it definitely kind of has that Beach Boys Pet Sounds kind of thing.
Okay.
Where it's anywhere you hear, there's something different going on.
The nearest parallel I grabbed, unfortunately, was Radiohead.
Okay.
Where there's always something like sonically shifting in some direction on like either side of the speaker that you tune into at different production levels, but it's not a clutter though. Like the wall of sound kind of might be considered.
Yeah, totally.
And I imagine that is quite an accomplishment when you're doing production stuff, and so that I think is the main strength of this album is that it's produced really well.
No, totally. What's his face did a great job. The Mercury Rev bassist.
Every time that I've tried to come up with like a spaced out, right when you get into like trying to equalize things, like they just frequencies conflict with each other in weird ways that you wouldn't expect. Like you'll turn up like a certain decibel pitch, and then like one that's like way lower will just get fucked up from that, and then it won't next time. You're like, what? Why the fuck did?
Yeah.
And so it like just at the baseline of me like just poking around, I was like, whoa, this stuff gets really complex really quickly, and the fact that they can create that, and you can like, I feel like if you visually look at like the music, you can space out everything, you know. It's like, this is far right speaker, this is far left speaker, this is the middle, and it's like those radio wave animations, but you can like distinguish where the instruments are on it, you know.
Well, a lot of that's just money and good recording equipment and good production equipment.
I would disagree. I think that a lot of like big major productions, they don't try to. I mean, you're probably right because they can isolate things better and control. But I don't think anyone like that's making the most money is trying to make their tracks as elaborate and spaced out as this.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this was a major label release. Like, this was on Warner Brothers. Like, they had a bankroll.
They're doing better with it than, like, fucking Kiara would have done. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's cool. I get that. Kiara.
Yeah. I thought the important lyric inside the first song was that he says, I don't know where the starlight ends and the sunbeams begin. I feel like that's the overarching sentence that kind of, that does unify across the album. It's talking about the sun and where the starlight ends, and being confused about it. So what were you doing when you first listened to this album?
That is a good question. I feel like this album has probably been a part of my life since 2002 when it came out.
Okay.
Because I imagine my sisters were probably of the age where they would enjoy this album. When was 2002? How old was I? I was fucking 8. I was 8, so it would probably come out like right before my sisters left for college. I don't know if they would have listened to it or not. But I honestly can't tell you the first time I listened to this album. It's just kind of always been there.
I remember this, for me it was in high school. It was when I was like starting to first start branching out into new music. It was a little bit after I got introduced to the Pixies, which was one of my really big moments in music listening, because I hated the Pixies at first. And
how did you hate the Pixies?
I thought they were the worst band, and I was like, I would listen to them to make fun of them and be like, isn't this shitty? And then I kind of realized that they were joking, kind of, in a way. Or that I just realized that my trying to make fun of them was feeding into like how good it is. That they kept on having other stuff that they were deliberately like misplacing or repeating awkwardly. And it just made me realize. It made me look at music like way differently. One day I was just like, holy fuck, I love Broken Face. This is actually a Broken Face is like my go-to song of just like, dude, this band sucks, right? And then I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. So that was a little bit after that when I was going through like Rate Your Music top albums essentially to like try to find new stuff. And
was Rate Your Music a thing back then? Jesus.
Yeah. This is probably 2010. I would say 2010 that I did this because I was in high school and I dropped out after my second year.
Hey, me too.
Hell yeah, man.
Fucking GEDs, baby. GEDs.
Get it. So fucking this guy was going to start dating one of our friends in our like close friend circle. And I was fucking the eccentric one who would just do whatever because it was eccentric. So I decided to conduct an interview for if her friend circle accepted him. And one of the questions was like top 3 albums. And this was one of the top 3 albums. So like once I saw it again occurring in somebody else's inside of like our Rate Your Music, I was like, oh shit, this
actually, guy might be legit.
Yeah. I was like, I guess I can respect.
Fuck, I was being too big of an asshole.
Yeah, no, it was an asshole thing, but he was cool with it. Which is, hey, he fit in to.
So why do you think that Sunbeams is the main lyric? Let's get that first.
He just brings up the sun a lot inside of other songs.
That's true.
I think he does it in all of the last 5 songs, but I can't remember perfectly. And that direct ties, like, for me, like, oh, that supplements whatever theme there might be to this album, which Yoshimi ends up becoming kind of not a part of.
Yes, she's really there for 2 songs, maybe 3.
So that first song was all about how he shouldn't fight. Do you have any takes on that one? It's like, it seems that it's about a girl that he likes, and he should have fought for her, but he thought that it was better to not fight. But then he ended up losing her to somebody, and he was like, man, maybe there's some things in life that you should fight about.
Oh man, see, I was completely reading it with my connected to the other album lens, where it's like, oh man, this is a dude who doesn't know what to do with his fucking life.
Okay, I mean, hey, there is one. Yeah, there's a line where he says, "Fucking, what's right for his own life? How does a man decide? It's all a mystery." I'm with that one. I like yours as well.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I always got. I thought it was just a lot of different ways of like kind of saying, I'm lost, I don't know which way I'm going, and using a lot of different confusing metaphor in there to kind of jumble the whole thing up to illustrate his confusion, if that makes sense.
I got with the "for to lose I could accept" in the surrender line, and then I thought there was virtue, better not to fight, / I'll step aside, and that time would prove that you were the fool, was like showing that he definitely thought there was a villain that he was up against or something, and that he thought that he would win by not fighting, while the other thing was proposing fighting, which it is called Fight Song.
That's true.
But I don't know about most of the song names in here.
Yeah, and like fighting the good fight, just trying to stay alive, man.
Yeah, it's almost like he's like, it could just be an archetypal kind of like, what does a man do to fight? Like, what do? Because I mean, we're all up against our nature, or I guess our nature's up against nature. One more robot / sympathy 3021. What do you? What's your take? What's the hot take?
I love this song.
That's good.
I think I have very weird takes about this album going through it. I realized.
Okay.
Like my second hot take is Yoshimi Bell's Pink Robot Part 2 way better than Part 1.
Dude, that's I hate to say it because it's kind of like the departure on the album, but that's my favorite song on the album by far.
It's so good.
And it's
when I first.
Yeah.
Let's get back to One More Robot later.
Okay, yeah, we'll cover it later, everybody's edge of your seat.
But the bass line in this song is so fucking good.
Yeah, I really did like that. Dude, the bass line all across the album,
but I think
really kept
this is the standout bass line track.
Interesting, because of that rising line during the verses. The doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
And it just... The only way I can describe it is it sounds like bubbles popping, like, along the fucking strings on its way up.
Yeah. Yeah, and for anybody who needs needs us to describe that better, it goes...
Exactly. Perfect. But imagine that with like a weird filter and like fucking all ghostly.
Yeah, and then there's like a... No, that was too complex. I'm sorry. I don't know what the drums are. But it's so weird the drum methods throughout the album.
I can't beat.
It's like trip hop. It's like trip hop / bordering on breakbeat, but never actually like breaking the beat and going into the breakbeat. Like it always sounds like an IDM thing is about to go into a breakbeat, and then it doesn't.
Yeah, and then Wayne Coyne just like fucking does his vocalizing over it.
So fucking. Yeah. It seems like this. I again confused. The storyline of Yoshimi and whatever's going on here confuses me because first off, we have the first song where it seems as if the guy is poised to battle something. And by the
But then Yoshimi is the person who battles the thing.
Yes, and Yoshimi is but he's debating whether or not he should fight for a girl. It seems a girl, but a thing. Or not fight, and then that not fighting would be like the philosophically, I guess, rewarding way to do it or to go about life. And then Yoshimi is the one that battles it, though. So yeah. So now there's a robot, Unit 3000-21.
It's getting a soul
in this very easy to remember title of a song. One More Robot / Sympathy 3000-21.
I like Synthetic Kind of Love. I don't know why that isn't the alternate title.
Yeah, that would have been good. So it makes a humming sound when its circuits duplicate emotions, and a sense of coldness detaches as it tries to comfort your sadness. Now, apparently, Wayne Coyne is stated directly, like inside of the storyline, I guess, that for him at this point, the reprise at the end, the One More Robot part, the Sympathy 3000-21 little. Suite at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, suite.
Okay.
The suite that comes in at the end. That is the robot deciding to kill itself instead of harming Yoshimi who it is programmed to kill.
Jeez, Wayne, I thought this wasn't a concept album.
Well, he said that the whole album isn't a concept album.
Okay,
And,
gotcha.
It seemed, in the context of the interview, it looked like it could have been that he was possibly responding to just, is it all about Yoshimi and that storyline, which he could have. So I don't know. It's up for debate, and I'm willing to say this is a concept album, just not about Yoshimi. I think Yoshimi ends up jabbing in.
Damn, so the fucking robot just kills itself?
Yeah, apparently the robot kills itself because it doesn't. It's programmed to kill her, but it's glitched and it's now able to like have sympathy. And so when the sense of coldness detaches, it tries to comfort your sadness.
Comforts Yoshimi's sadness?
That's such a nursery rhyme kind of rhyme. I like that. Yeah, Yoshimi's sadness. I guess Yoshimi is sad, or maybe the robot's sad for Wayne Coyne even. And
I think, like, yeah, who's the robot fucking comforting? Because
Yeah.
Yoshimi's there to kick ass.
Yoshimi seems pretty badass. I don't think she needs any comfort.
Yoshimi's about to kick other robots' ass. She doesn't give a shit this robot's killing itself.
Yeah. So with Yoshimi, it seemed as if like she would be the topic of who's falling in love. But then who's she falling in love with? Is it possibly the robots? Or is it the concept of fighting?
I have no idea, man.
And that's why one of the robots loves her, is to give that like a new, just a deeper dimension of love. But fucking, so it does that shit, tries to comfort her sadness.
Should just had her listen to that bass line. That'd comfort her sadness.
So he's asking like, so if a machine can fucking do that shit, can do this shit, if it does shit for love, because it's like, I have convinced myself that this is love, then isn't that the same thing as love? And then we all go, fuck.
Damn, fucking deep.
Pass the blood.
Do you realize everyone you know is gonna die someday?
I'm glad that you're willing to trash on the lyrics a little bit, because I do think that he's a little stretchy.
Yeah.
Which is fine, whatever. I would hang out with him any day, dude.
That's one of those songs that I was like 14 or whatever. It was like, this is super deep. And now as a 26-year-old, I'm like, this is lame as fuck.
I think it's deep in a really lame way. I
Yeah.
still appreciate it. When we get there, we'll cover that more, I guess. Right here, the lyrics about the love, I was like, come on, that's not that deep, dude. I was like, this seems irrelevant to the whole album that you're asking this question.
But thank God for this song for giving us that fucking bass line.
Yeah. And I don't know where Wayne Coyne would sit on if this is love or if it's not love. This seems like a selfish kind of love where it's about... well, no, I guess because it's putting its ego aside. Its ego,
Yeah,
if you can
dude.
say a robot has ego, it's built to kill. So then it's directly denying that in favor of non-destruction, I guess. There you go. That's all I got.
According to Genius, now it seems like Coyne is talking about a human who feels his love is fake and robotic.
Oh, okay.
That has 3 thumbs up.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. When we get through the suburbs, there were...
I can only imagine.
Yeah, the suburbs is a fucking disaster on Genius. Actually, a lot of it's pretty on point, like just kind of like not well done. But there's like 2 songs where I think they landed on the exact opposite side of where the song is trying to lead you.
Oh, totally. I get that.
Okay.
Oh, fuck it.
I'm ready for Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots Part 1. Let's cover real quick. Yoshimi is the drummer for the band The Boredoms.
Yes, who also plays on this album. I don't know if she plays drums or not.
She does play drums on at least Part 2 of
Okay.
the Pink Robots.
So they got the good drummer in for that shit.
Yeah, and I think she's the one that does the screams too, but I can't be sure. But since The Boredoms...
I'm pretty sure I read something about that.
I got so excited when I read that it was the Boredoms, because I thought it was the lead singer of the Boredoms that was in this album and was Yoshimi for a minute.
Yeah.
Which I was wrong, but either way, it's exciting because I think I need to listen to the Boredoms, like, at some point.
Why do you say that?
Unfortunately, their most appraised album is not available on Spotify.
Yeah.
But fucking their screamer has influenced me so much. Their lead singer.
The fucking...
Yeah.
The fucking... Yeah, dude.
No, not only in Part 2, but we have heard the lead singer of The Boredoms in another album. And that album is The Naked City by John Zorn.
Oh, really?
Dude, he's the guy that did all of the screaming on that album. and some of
That's
the
fucking awesome.
and some of the hardcore like death metal-y stuff, not death metal, hardcore metal, I guess, stuff. And I have always loved that style of screaming so much. It's like borderline fucking Tasmanian devil. It's the craziest shit, and it excites me to like my deepest core. And
that was you just did some straight can shit right there.
But fucking, so like to know that my favorite song that has always been my favorite song off this album was from the Boredoms, it's just like I gotta zone in on them sometime soon, dude.
It's cool. Okay, that's chill.
But okay, so
right.
Yoshimi battles the pink robots. Now you know who Yoshimi is.
Ready to start it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the reason why they came up with this concept is because they were trying to describe what the drumming sounded like.
Wait, what?
They were just jamming with her. They had recordings, and he was discussing with somebody, like, what do you think this sounds like? And he was like, I don't know if she's loving the thing, if she's trying to have sex with the thing, or if she's trying to kill it. And then he was like, what? He said robots. If he was trying to make love or kill robots. And then Wayne apparently said, they're definitely pink robots. And that's the origin.
That's the kind of shit that I love about Wayne Coyne.
Yeah.
He'll just see such a specific portion of an idea and be like, those robots are fucking pink.
Yeah, it's so specific, and also the aesthetic for like the animations on the album covers and stuff, I think are so good. I think they actually elevate the album.
You know, I just realized something while we were recording this, that the numbers 25 are on the album cover, and I have no idea why.
Me either, dude. I tried to think about that.
I seriously, I've been listening to this album for God knows how many years, and I just noticed that for the first time today.
My guess is that it's like a reference to some other like anime thing, because I think it's like just numbers in an auditorium, like where like in the gladiator style place that there's this fight is taking place. Which that's part of also Wayne Coyne's thing, is that this is happening in a gladiator style auditorium. Why? I don't know.
Because it's fucking badass, dude. That's the future I want to live in.
Pretty badass. So she's got a black belt in karate, this Yoshimi.
Hoy hoy.
And so she's working for the city.
This song, I don't know what to read into this song. I do love the rhyme scheme of this song, though.
Like how it abandons it right there.
Yeah. No, just because she knows that it's demanding to defeat those evil machines. I love that series of lyrics.
Yeah.
It's great. And I like that he encouraged her to take her vitamins.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I guess like just staying healthy is an important thing for working for the city. So my reading is that...
Wait, so she's working for the city, but it's gladiatorial?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I think that the city would be the one that's hosting the gladiatorial battle.
I've always assumed it was like she was a defender.
Yes, she definitely is painted as a defender, because he's trying to get her to like not... I don't want these robots to eat me or defeat me.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Yoshimi is the one that he's calling to, and he's saying they don't believe me, so that makes me think that that's the city. But I don't know what. Maybe she worked for the city, but she like cares about this guy, so she's like actually betraying, like he's supposed to get killed by all these pink robots because you're sent to get killed by the pink robots. But then why would they be programmed to kill Yoshimi?
Well, they're programmed to kill all the gladiators, and maybe Wayne's the next gladiator, and he just fucking wants them all dead.
Oh, so you're saying Yoshimi would be one of the gladiators?
Well, I mean, if she's fighting in a gladiatorial arena.
But she works for the city.
It's true.
It seems that whatever she's doing to strengthen herself, it's part of working for the city, because it says she's a black belt in karate. Working for the city, she has to discipline her body. So I don't know where the fuck she is.
What the fuck? Sorry, I just clicked on the "She's a black belt in karate" lyric on Genius, and it says, "This is saying Yoshimi is qualified to fight against the thing she's up against, be it cancer or actual pink robots."
Okay, so that actually does have an explanation. So somebody adapted the Yoshimi battles the pink robots chapter of this album into a musical.
Yoshimi has cancer,
and they made it a metaphor about cancer. Yeah. It's about two guys battling to get into the room. But I really think it's very clearly an adaptation. It's not what this is about. Okay. There's nothing to indicate cancer anywhere on this album.
Okay, well, I'm not clicking on that again.
You can say that the pink robots are supposed to look like cells, maybe, or like
or just the
cancer
color
or something,
pink is
but-
breast cancer.
Yeah, yeah. But that's the closest parallel I think you can really make here.
Dude, all this Genius lyrics is all about cancer. Anytime
Yeah,
I click on
yeah.
a lyric, that's fucked up.
Yeah, the first couple songs are like that.
That sucks.
Yeah, what can you do?
I don't know.
I think it's silly. Oh, I don't like the way that the acoustic guitar... Oh, yeah, what I've discovered through listening to this album is that I don't like acoustic guitar strumming mixed into anything trip-hop soundy.
I agree with that.
They get awesome.
I really like it when they say ho ho in the background, or
Oh,
hoi
oh.
hoi, hoi hoi, whatever
Yeah.
it is. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I love all
Which-
the female backing vocals of the song, actually.
Yeah, they chose very good anime-soundy Japanese stuff.
Yeah, fits the theme.
Yeah, it may have just been Yoshimi herself doing that stuff. I don't know.
And the blah 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 is
Wap, wap, wow.
is unbeatable.
Yeah, yeah. It carries on into Yoshimi battles the pink robots. I actually think that's supposed to symbolize what the pink robots sound like.
That's them walking around.
Possibly, yeah, because then it like suddenly becomes menacing and like is the thing that the drums are like attacking in the next song.
Okay.
Carries on from this first one where it just keeps on. It
But
works almost.
wait, there is actual robot voice on this song, dude.
It's true. It's true. Maybe it represents their force as evil. Or as
it's
robots.
them shooting fucking rockets at Yoshimi.
It's the sound of their guns, yeah, or their laser eyes. But it like works as like a refrain almost that like kind of just breaks up where the couplets are, I guess, inside of the verses.
Oh yeah.
It'll be like do 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 wap wap wow. They don't believe me. Wap wap wow. And then the next song starts off and then it goes.
Yeah. Dude, the fucking oh god. Okay, let's just move to the next song.
go.
I think we got
Let's
this
go
one
into it.
because I just want to talk about those fucking drums.
Sure.
Dude, fucking because it starts off so cool and then the drums come in with the fucking screaming and it's just the fucking best.
Yeah, and it's like on one hand that bass sound effect is like playful and fun, but it also bumps.
Oh yeah.
It's very deep, and then the drums fucking kill it, dude.
Dude,
It's
I
so
feel like-
hardcore.
is that one cymbal hit just repeatedly sampled?
I don't know. I can't tell. There's definitely some stuff that pops up in here that is sampled though. But regardless, the screaming in this fucking thing
Oh dude, so
gives
good.
me chills.
So
and this-
good.
This beat, I think it is. I don't know if this is a weird time signature or not,
Here, let's see if it's Googleable.
but it shifts around so much that it gives you the feeling of like being off balance the entire time, but always managing to land into a fucking like fat beat. It's as hardcore as it is like head noddable.
Oh yeah, totally.
Cruising through the hood with my gat. You know that feeling?
Fucking gangsters rolling up, listening to Yoshimi. I'll show you a pink robot.
That's what the gangsters are like in Tokyo. It does this cool thing where it fucking like plateaus in the middle, and it's just like jamming a little bit, and then it like slowly brings up this bam 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 bam, and the bass builds up like until it's like right on the edge of fucking like exploding, and then and then it explodes way more than you would expect because the screaming voice,
Dude,
like
and the
it's
fucking,
like a fucking insane banshee. It gives me chills. It gives me chills every time.
oh, and it works just so well in time with the fucking cymbals for some reason. And
Yeah.
I don't understand how anyone has that good of pitch control over their screaming.
And
Like, I feel like you get one note if you're a screamer.
she got the shrill one. The shrill ones, I guess. She's in the shrill octaves, but the scream is like really blood curdling. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so high pitched.
No, it's like my favorite part of the song.
Yeah.
That
I don't know
and
it-
and the bass.
I don't know any fucking and I mean the drums. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, the,
The beat is so fucking
sure,
shifty.
the whole thing just works together really fucking well.
Yeah. It's just a musical thing. It's like a musical representation of the fight. Dope shit.
It is
It's-
dope shit.
When we can have the least to say about it, it's the best one.
Yeah, that's kind of how instrumentals are, though.
Yeah, it is.
We should challenge ourselves with an instrumental album once we're better.
Dude, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Okay, so In the Morning of the Musicians.
That's the next song.
Fucking bass line, still pumping. Always a good bass line on this album. You're fucking right.
It's always so bright and fucking cartoony, man.
No, dude, it feels like I'm in like a fucking flower land.
And then it dissolves. Like, it sounds like it's building towards like some sort of like kind of hard beat song, one that you can nod along to, and then it just dissolves into a violin swelling to like.
Is that a violin? Yeah, that's
I
a
don't,
violin.
I don't know.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
probably a keyboard, but
It's fair.
it goes off into something without like a measurable count. Really, it's like one of those classical things where it's kind of just floaty. It's kind of like that last song on Klaus Nomi that we.
Yeah.
And then he just randomly brings a fucking acoustic guitar.
You don't like Wayne Coyne's acoustic guitar. I think it works on this song. I think it works on
Yeah.
this song better.
I think it works much better on this song because there's not like a weird contrasting trip hop beat.
Totally. No, this song is very much so acoustic, other than Wayne Coyne's vocals, which is just like reverb and flushed out, which I
Yeah.
love. I love that shit.
Flushed out, that's pretty good. That's a good word for it. Because it makes me think of like him like singing to an empty, not even an auditorium, like an empty gym.
Yeah.
Like the way that the voice echoes off like the walls in the distance. It reverbs just such a particular way. They isolate him in like the weirdest way so that he sounds lonely from the music, I think.
Oh, totally. Totally.
Like he's like supposed to be a little bit divorced, which I think comes off as too much of a contrast sometimes, where it's like sticks out.
Well,
but
yeah.
Otherwise, it's still super good.
It's kind of like he's floating above the music. Like he's definitely
Yeah.
the peak of the mountain, and then like the rest kind of flows out.
I would actually say that he's like frowny faced in the bottom left corner, and then everything else is bouncing around him. These are the conversations.
He's like the sun in Teletubbies sunning.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. I just know that I know what it looks like when that sun rises. I'm not sure if I've ever watched a full episode of the Teletubbies though.
I don't know if it sets or if it doesn't. I just
Oh,
imagine.
okay.
Just because your location was bottom left. What do you think about the song lyrically, dog? What is
Yeah,
love and
lyrically.
what is hate?
Oh yeah, a weird thing is that there's like little laughter noises, like as if they're at like an after party din. I wrote as if they're like maybe perhaps this is sort of like a Hunger Games-y situation, and the person survived, and now they're all like, "Oh, good job, good job."
It's a fucking real dark dinner.
Yeah, that's the only way I can make sense of why they would include those sound effects in this song. But there's a book with this title, In the Morning of the Magicians. Everybody agrees, and I agree probably too, that it probably is. They probably just use it for the title. But that book is all about conspiracy theories, and it's like considered one of the core conspiracy theory books about, because it's not about any particular conspiracy, it's about entertaining the thoughts of conspiracy in a way. So I don't know if that does tie into the album in some sort of way. It could if you take the line that I was just saying, that maybe the city was conspiring against him or something. But then I don't know what the hell that would mean at all. So so I think it's more likely that it just is kind of a frivolous thing that he was like, I like that.
Wayne seems to be that kind of surface level, like fucking, that's cool,
Yeah.
let's fucking do it.
Yeah, which not to bash it completely, it's created some of the. That's what I love the aesthetics on the album cover and the art associated with this album,
Yeah.
and that's what it takes to create that kind of shit, dude.
No, sometimes you gotta be one of those dudes, man. I feel like
Yeah.
David Bowie was totally one of those dudes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never really assessed his lyrics too deeply or anything. So.
David Bowie used to just write down things he liked, and then he would cut them up and arrange them.
Hot pockets, hot pockets and cheese.
Yum. No, it would be chili peppers, milk, and cocaine.
Sorry.
No, that's good.
So he woke up in the morning in this song and couldn't remember what is love and what is hate. I think it's important that the sun is rising. He says that the sun rises a couple times in the album, but he says what is love is what is hate. That's his question. I think that's parallel to the where I can't tell the difference between where the sunbeams end and the starlight begins.
It's actually parallel to a lot in that first song, probably.
Okay.
If I can remember any of the lyrics off the top of my head.
That's the one that seems to be about the fighting or not fighting, which could just be said love or hate. Like to promote yourself, I guess, in expense of others versus like
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's kind of a refrain of the questions.
Yeah, I think actually like most of the songs are just refrains of the same question.
But this one seems more hopeless than the first one for some reason.
You know what? I wrote a note here that I think is the best way to refer to the overall composition direction that randomly will like delve into these classical directions. Overly schmaltzy 40s epic Hollywood romance.
Okay.
Like
I can't say that I see it, but okay.
Or maybe the 60s, like Casablanca or like Dr. Zhivago. That's later, but you know that kind. I don't know. It seems
Maybe
like very fanciful, like vaguely
I get
fantastical in a
in a sort of melancholy way.
Yeah, no, there is a big like to me those romances that are usually epic have some tragic undertones to them.
Oh,
so
totally.
That's kind of why I think that. I suppose. Anyways, there's a calculation error in the song, which I don't know what the hell that is. Inside of In the Morning of the Magicians. Yeah, he says he doesn't know what is love, what is hate. The calculations error, and it's like, what? Is this the robot again? Why are there calculations happening?
What is love and what is hate? I don't know. It's kind of like, it's like I feel like I understand what it means, but I can't put into words what I think it means.
That means it doesn't mean anything bad.
You never just feel something, dude? You never just feel a feeling? You're like, that's what that is.
No, I can kind of, like, he's, like, trying to figure out how to calculate, like, how to live, maybe. But I think that, like, it's weird that in a thing about, like, robots, that he would use the word calculate, if it's not to direct us to a theme within that storyline.
Yeah,
but I think that fair. He did. I think that's what he does, though. I think that's what he does there. But I don't think he's too much of a focused writer, so... Gotta give him, just gotta shrug. We just gotta shrug.
Yep. I will say one thing about Wayne's lyrics before we move on.
Okay.
You know, they might not be deep and profound, but they fit well together and they go well over the songs. It just kind of like, as fluff in your ear, the texture of the word usually goes with what's going on in the background.
Yeah, I mean, something like this, I would want to say, it's a different kind of creative approach than like Klaus Nomi's songs and like the structure of his album. Like I felt like that was a more controlled message. Yeah. But I think that this one might be better because there's at least a unifying theme, and then also just the aesthetics mixed into it of the whole storyline with Yoshimi. He created more of a world here that is totally unique rather than trying to just communicate a message or something.
No, there's a space this album occupies.
Yeah.
That is wholly its own.
Yeah.
And even like the album preceding immediately and following immediately don't sound like this album.
Oh yeah, and they also in The Morning of the Magicians he says as the dawn begins to break, which shows that he was awake wondering before the dawn came, and then as it's happening, the dawn, he surrenders. This one is one of my favorite songs on the album. One of the simplest lyrically.
I really like his delivery of the lyrics though, and I really like the vocal processing.
Yes, me as well, which is again, like some parts of the album, the way that he's produced, I don't like. This one is where I do like it, and it seems to emphasize the breakiness of his voice. That he's like he sounds like a child about to cry a little bit.
And just the backup vocals of "Just Ego Trip," it always fucking gets me, dude.
Yeah. This actually reminds me a lot of the Gorillaz, kind of in a way.
Really, like a more depressing Gorillaz without Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
Kind of. Have you ever listened to their albums? I'd say that they actually do get pretty depressed.
I only like know the radio hits.
Okay.
And that's why I just always assume Abdel the Funky Homo Sapien is a Gorillaz member.
I got you. No, I got you. Yeah, that's just the one. That's just Clint Eastwood.
It's just Clint Eastwood? I could have sworn he's on a few other songs.
Oh, he might be on a couple other ones, I guess. So in this one, lyrically, he's waiting for love and a moment, but it doesn't happen, and he realizes that he missed all of those moments and love that was already around him by focusing on that love and that moment.
Yeah, you see those parallels to the Suburbs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I could... I don't know. I actually don't know.
Okay.
Dude, the Suburbs kind of confuses me, but I'm hoping that as we go through it, I'm going to be able to compete between two views that I have.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I could see, like, if it's an overarching love theme inside of there, then yes. But I had trouble trying to identify whether or not there was a love story in there.
In the Suburbs, I think there was.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that. I think there was, but I don't think it's the main point. I think it's
me too. Okay, I'm glad. So moving on to loving all / missing all the moments and missing the love. Oh yeah, he's losing the feeling.
Yeah, he's losing the love around him, and the moments are like passing him by.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I can see parallels there.
Fuck this bass line.
Is there a way we can turn the theme thing into a game? Like, maybe if you get...
Oh, totally. We each come up with a theme.
We each come up with a theme that it should have
stronger. Been. Yeah,
sure,
that's fun as fuck.
So yeah, this is... Unfortunately, there's not too much to say, except that this is just a super relaxing... I'm hoping that through doing this podcast, I'll be able to come up with many more terms to explain music.
Yeah, that's going to be the hard part.
Yeah. The
musical terminology is hard to use.
The bass line, it just like does like a kind of like popping, and it just does that like up a chord or octave and then down one. It like doesn't flip around too much. It's just there to keep a bass line bobbing.
Well, doesn't it also do the boo-doo-doo-doo-doo at some point?
Oh, probably. I may not have focused on that. But it definitely has like an overall just kind of bobbing in the sunshine, but also like some sad stuff happened and you're getting over it.
Kind of like you're a little too drunk, but it's a nice day outside and you're floating in a lake.
Yeah. And that ego tripping at the gates of hell, I think, is another fitting thing, that the gates of hell would be... I
definitely feel...
The ego leads to the hell that's in this mind.
I definitely feel like that is kind of the turning point of the album that distinguishes like between first half and latter half.
Okay. I disagree, but I'm with you.
just feel wise. Like that song on feels different from Flight Test to In the Morning and the Magician.
Ego Tripping is like the first one where we get like a straightforward song almost.
Yeah. It's kind of how the rest of the album seems to go.
Yeah.
Which, I think that's why I like the second half more so, outside of a couple songs on the first half.
Okay, so the lyrics have, are you tricking me?
Dude.
There's a focus that he's speaking to. Are you tricking me? He can't remember the difference. He forgot the difference of love and hate, I think. Wait, hold on. Let me go. Go ahead, Ben.
You know, this is one of the songs that I will say probably has one of the more boring bass lines on the album.
Okay.
Very simple. I just love the way he delivers the line.
But when you think about it, it's kind of floating between some weird chords. Like, it's unifying.
It is, but it's definitely not front and center where it is like on the rest of the album.
I can get that.
It's very much so the drums are the driving factor here.
Yeah, I can get that.
But I like it. I still like it. But the way he delivers "Are You Some Kind of Hypnotist" is like possibly my favorite delivery on the album. I don't know why.
Oh.
It kind of sounds like emo vocals, but just stripped of all the yelling.
Yeah, them Flaming Lips and Mercury Rev sound very close to a lot of emo.
Yeah.
Vocalists.
Love Mercury Rev.
Yeah. Well, I bet you love Death Cab for Cutie, too.
I don't like Death Cab, actually. I don't like Ben Gibbard at all.
Okay. It's a similar kind of voice, though. It's less... I agree. This is better. I'm not saying Ben Gibbard's the superior vocalist.
I do actually. I take it back. I really like the Postal Service. I just don't like Death Cab.
I hate the Postal Service.
It's a guilty pleasure. I'll say that for sure.
Oh my god, dude. We gotta cover that sometime, dude, because I hate them. My ex used to fucking play that shit all the time. And we'd have to discuss
right next to Owl City, I bet.
Because depending on how irritated I was... No, she did listen to some Owl City, yep. And depending on how irritable I was like, I can't do this.
That's great.
Okay, so yeah, waving your powers around. There's some person, he's asking, are you a hypnotist? Waving your powers around the sun eclipse behind the cloud.
Fun lyric. Really like that lyric. I've never listened to it, but the sun eclipse behind the cloud is just fun to say and fun to hear. Yeah,
and I think the cloud is supposed to represent like the cloudiness or the question of what is good and what is bad. Well, yeah, because again, the sun is being obscured here.
Exactly.
And so he can't do whatever he said in the other song that he did when the sun was up. That was about acceptance. So yeah, and then verse 2 is dope.
Yeah, kinda. I agree. I was just about to ask you, what do you think this means?
I think he's saying that, like... So the verse is, I thought I recognized your face amongst all of those strangers, but I am the stranger now amongst all of the recognized. So I think now... So I think this is the thing that happens when he's...
Perhaps aging and changing. It doesn't recognize himself anymore?
I was not going to say that. No.
Oh, okay.
But let's go into that a little bit more. My reading of it was that he now sees her face amongst all of the strangers. I thought I recognized your face amongst all those strangers. So like, I'm imagining in the context of the city, them versus us, the two kind of dichotomy. And now, like, all the strangers inside of the crowd are the people that become.
I think I see where you're going with this, and I like it.
Okay. So all of them were the strangers, and possibly also the moments to me that he didn't love and wasn't able to, like, recognize or use because he was focused on that love. And then she becomes a face amongst all of those strangers, and he becomes a stranger now, and he's saying that now he recognizes that they were all like as far as she's concerned, he's the same kind of stranger that they all were when he was focusing all of his love onto her and ignoring the rest of the world around him.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Okay. If I can, I'll keep an eye out for trying to clarify it.
Go for it. Clarify.
No, you go ahead and I'll think of how to rephrase that better.
I don't know why. I was just thinking it's like I like, but now I'm the stranger amongst the recognized. Kind of a realization that this is kind of happening to everyone around him, and that's where I thought you were going with that.
Okay. I definitely think that he being a stranger amongst all of the recognized, because I guess we have to say, like, where does the static definition come forward from his perspective? So he's saying, I thought I recognized your face amongst all of those strangers. So they say the strangers, and her face is just you. And he's saying that I thought I recognized yours amongst them. Like, so I think that's elevating it. Yeah, that's my encapsulation of those first two lines. I think that he's just elevating her above strangers.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I am the stranger now. So now he's putting himself into the crowd from that perspective. Now amongst all of the recognized. Okay, so all of the recognized in that context would be all of the people. Oh yeah, fuck. Never mind. That doesn't work. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think this lyrics might be Wayne Quinn likes acid.
He may have just inversed it and been like, I'm pretty sure that means something.
Yeah. It's like, fuck yeah, dude.
Because, hold on. Because I was thinking that it would say, like, I am the stranger now. So he'd be inside of the crowd. And then amongst all of the recognized.
See,
so
that's
that
what I'm saying.
them.
Is there's other people recognizing each other. I don't know, man.
No, I could. I'm going to go through it again one more time with your perspective, though. Do you care?
Okay. Yeah, no,
too much. So,
no,
but I am the stranger. Let me finish this one real quick. I am the stranger now amongst all the recognized. So I think that the strangers then become recognized, and he puts himself in the audience, which she was also amongst. So he had left the audience, elevated her, and now he's a stranger to her, and becomes one of the recognized. Maybe she loved better than he did. I kind of like that reading. I just came up with that while I was reading it, and I think that makes sense. Okay. But I thought so you're saying that this is more of a perspective, that you're seeing this as a perspective of time.
I'm saying this perspective of he sees her as a part of a story, but then he realizes everyone around him is also part of their own story, and he's kind of detached from it all.
Okay, so in that way, what it is her story that is amongst all those strangers, and hers is it still elevated?
I don't know,
dude. Yes,
okay.
that is because then he applies it to everybody and realizes they're all going through the same thing.
Yeah.
But then your face, so then it would have to be her struggle inside of that context, right?
I don't know. I don't know if she needs to be a part of the second two lyrics.
Who's your face then? Who's the face?
I thought I recognized your face. No, I thought I recognized your face amongst all the strangers.
Yeah.
That's one part. Second part.
Okay.
But I am the stranger now amongst all of the recognized. So, does that make sense?
You just read the lyrics.
I'm telling you, they're separate events.
Oh, okay. So I thought I recognized your face amongst all of those strangers. I mean, yeah, now it is a separate thing because he says, but I am now the stranger. But it's a separate... So you're saying it applies to a different thing?
It applies to how he views himself as opposed to how he views her. Does that make sense?
Wait, so she is in there?
She's in the first part.
Okay,
but
so she's okay.
He's the changing element.
So he's saying, I am what you would consider a stranger now, and I'm amongst all of those strangers who are now the recognized still? Does that flip still happen in yours? Or
the strangers who are recognizing each other. Each
Oh,
individual has a separate recognized person.
Okay, so the recognition is more of like an awareness of all of the love versus.
Yes.
Okay, it's about like the love recognizing the love across the love rather than
Exactly.
you didn't recognize them, now you recognize them.
I think we're saying the same.
Yeah, I said the last sentence completely wrong, but you got it. Okay. I'm glad. I personally like taking little moments like this. I don't know.
That's cool.
If you feel like these are too much of a side, though, let's take a note and get a third vote.
No, I think they're chill.
Okay.
I
Jump
think
into summertime.
not more than like 2 or 3 per album, though.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's summertime, baby. Again, we start off. Yeah, I don't mind this guitar either. Took no note of it. I was
What,
yep.
the little like fucking 60s-esque fucking guitar like slide and fucking picking.
The picking. Oh no, that guitar is totally fine because it's a different thing. But there's the strumming that I've been
the acoustic
criticizing.
guitar.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, I accepted it. I didn't even write a note, so it
just
fits
kind
here.
of fills into the wall.
Yeah.
I do really like the lead guitar though.
Yeah, that guitar's
very pretty.
The little twangy lead, just.
And it's kind of the thing where it sounds very much so like 60s psychedelia, but toned down with modern sensibility and totally modern technology. Like you can tell.
I could see it having a home there. The strumming actually kind of reminds me of Oasis, the strumming one.
It's totally like Wonderwall.
Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about Fight Song. They got sued for Fight Song.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they
never
ended up 75% of the rights go to Cat Stevens.
Oh, I did know that.
For a song called Father and Son, and I listened to it and I was like, yeah, that's pretty. It's pretty on the nose. The chords are very similar, but they're definitely different in a way. So I'm glad that they kept 25% still.
That's cool. Yeah. You kind of wish Tribe got some of that music for the Walk on the Wild Side bass line.
Oh my God, did they get 100?
Lou Reed got like 100%, I think, of the Can You Feel It the royalties.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, and it's like their biggest fucking song.
I never knew that.
I think it's 100. I might be wrong.
This song is it's about summertime. It's summertime, and I can understand if you feel sad. It's summertime, and though it's hard to see its true possibilities, when you look inside, all you'll see is a self-reflected inner sadness. I know that you'll recognize if you look outside that it's summertime.
I would. I would recognize that, Wade. It's obviously internal emotions look different than outside emotions. I think that's kind of what it is, right?
Yeah, movements toward the ego. I would say it blocks the love. That's my take.
My take is I like the bird noises.
Yeah, but again, the sunshine is the theme that I think is.
Look outside and I know you'll recognize it's summertime. Where's the sunshine in here?
Summertime. It's summertime.
Just that it's summertime? Okay.
It's the season of sunshine. I think, is that a stretch? I don't know.
Because I feel like, I don't know if we can read too much into this song.
If it does, then it fits into an overall sun scheme.
Yeah, that's cool. But
not the sun one, but the fact that the lyrics are just saying, "Hey, don't reflect inward."
It's too much fun. Project a happy face, smile.
Yeah. Don't be a bummer. That's what the Flaming Lips are always trying to say, right?
And that's why they're like, let's make a lot of weird noises in this song.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love all the weird noises in this song. I don't know how much I like it as a song, but anytime I hear like the blah 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 or like the bird chirpy thing going on, I love it.
Yeah, it's relaxing.
But other than that, I don't know. Like, not much musically, I think, really goes on. Okay. Other than the cool guitar and that.
Yeah, no, that one's really cool. I actually kind of like that they don't. Most of the songs where they change it up a lot in this album, I would say I don't like as much. I'd say that they go too many directions.
That's true. I feel like if you're going to have a song change up that much, it should be a longer song.
Yeah. And a big part, I guess, of what I like about the album cover and the art concept of this album is that, for me, it like gives the complexity of the music and the weird different influences that are like almost, I feel like, competing, a unification that's like, without the imagery of this album, I'm not sure how unified I could feel like the whole thing was.
Totally.
Listening all the way through.
I could have swore I fucking read something about this album cover, how someone just drew it up for Wade, and he was just like, yeah, that's exactly it.
That's dope. So now we're on Do You Realize, a song that Ben hates. Ben...
I don't know if I hate it, but fucking, oh.
Ben doesn't want you to realize.
God, it's just... The acoustic guitar on this song definitely is kind of out of place.
Yeah, no, the acoustic guitar does kind of bother me there. I personally was able to overcome it for this one just because I think that it...
I really like woo wow woo.
Like they keep on bringing that. Do you realize? Like they bring it up as a they bring it up as like a refrain, like up in a higher octave.
Yeah.
That like now builds into like a new progression, sort of. It reminds me. That exactly is what reminds me of old classical music scores.
Interesting.
In movies, because they just do that a lot from what I've seen in Hollywood films. Sorry, I have acai berry stuck in my. Acai berry stuck in my throat.
Acai?
It is acai? Fuck you.
I have no idea what it is.
I think it's acai.
I think it is acai, but I like acai better.
Acai! I got a guy in my throat.
That ain't the first time.
So we're floating in space. Do you realize that happiness makes you cry?
Oh, God.
Do you realize that you have the most beautiful face? So then that he's talking there about recognizing the one face. Possibly. But then he says, do you realize that everyone you know someday will die? So I think he's trying to say that maybe everyone should be recognized as having the most beautiful face? I don't know.
Maybe? I don't... Dude, he's saying, let your family know that you fucking love them because they're all gonna die someday.
Yeah.
That's the point of the song.
Yeah. I do like that.
You like that?
Yeah. I do like that. I think that the fact that it is such like a joyous kind of... This song reminds me of the celebration at the end of Star Wars 2, Attack of the Clones.
What happens at the end of Attack of the Clones?
It has a super fucking cheesy scene where everybody's like celebrating because they won a battle, and but it's also kind of morose because like some people died, but they died for a heroic cause.
I do like the juxtaposition of the happy music versus the sad lyrics. I'll say that. And I think the music's all right. I don't think this deserves to be the biggest track off the album.
Yeah, I agree. But people like the sentiments.
And I do really like the fucking end where they slow it down.
And then inside of this one, he notes that you realize the sun doesn't go down. It's just an illusion caused by the world spinning round.
That's literally a thought I had as an 8-year-old.
Well, for me, I think it's the metaphor would be that the sun making him realize what love is. Like the only thing that causes him to forget that is the fact that he gets caught up in events and,
more earthly things.
Yeah. Like the beginning of the starlight is irrelevant because the sun is always there.
Okay,
and
I get that.
Now we're on the next one. But the beautiful face line does throw me off. I don't know how to fit that into my scheme, so it probably doesn't work. Completely.
Okay, Now here's a song that Sleeper might be my favorite song on the album.
Really?
I like this song a lot.
Really? Yes. Right on. I don't think there's any songs I dislike on this album, really.
Yeah.
But I'd say in most of them, I just feel like in between at many moments. Like I have moments that I criticize, moments that are good.
Yeah.
There's too much happening, you know?
I just fucking like how subtle it is. It's just fucking understated. And I really like as logic stands, you couldn't meet a man who's from the future, but logic's broke as he appeared. He spoke about the future. It's like, what the fuck? You just write future with future and are painting the story of a time traveler all of a sudden on the end of this album?
I love the rhyme scheme of all we have is now, all we've ever had is now, all we have is now, all we've ever had is now.
So good.
And then later
it's like, he doesn't belong in the future.
Yeah.
It's so
good.
So
the lyrics here are very silly. I think this is another part where he's possibly stretching and it doesn't conceptually make sense. Because he's saying that there's fucking... Him from the future has come back from the future to tell himself of the past that he isn't meant to be in the future. Like that inherently is just like, oh, whoa, a paradox.
All you have is the present, dude.
All you have is now is like, I can get that as being like a good message standing alone, but then putting the weird time travel thing around is just like, what are you doing?
Do you remember an episode of South Park? Sorry. Where they, hired actors to pretend they were their kids from the future, and their kids got addicted to drugs. Do you remember that?
Wow, no, I don't remember that.
So
Wow.
they hired their fucking actors to have their kids be their drug addict selves from the future because they found them smoking weed.
Wow, no, I don't remember that. That's funny.
I don't know why that made me think of that, but it did.
Listen, I made an association. This is where my mind went.
Hey, like, I thought it was really funny. I haven't seen that episode in years.
Yeah,
I'll probably watch that later tonight.
All we
The
have
song's-
is now is the point of this, I guess.
All
You
we
don't
have is
have to
now.
think about the future. Hey, that could be that could just be explaining that time is measured by the sun going around
Yeah.
the Earth.
Oh, I thought you were pointing to my theory, but continue.
Or sorry, Earth going around the sun. Time itself is what he's talking about, also as being the thing that you get caught up in the last song, which I guess you could draw to ego in a way, also because what else do we have except for like what else would we make egotistical choices except that we have limited time on Earth?
Which is kind of what the suburbs is talking about.
Yeah, I can see
And
that.
I really like the way the song builds, though. Just from like
Yeah.
this slow, just basic piano, and it kind of gets soaring towards the end of it, but it's still all very subtle and understated, and you could have it on in the background and just occasionally lean over and be like, "What's this? Why is this going on now?" But the transition the whole way through is very subtle and works super good.
I'd say like the build is almost like they're taking off to. It's like E.T. and they're taking off to his planet or something.
It's kind of like if Godspeed You, Black Emperor, just like took a super chill pill.
Right up.
They smoke a mega bowl and fucking shoot some heroin. It's all we have is now. And then approaching
Oh, sure.
Pavins. Are we good there?
Let's do it.
I don't even know how to say this song.
We are approaching Pavonis Mons by Balloon, parentheses, Utopia Planatia. Or
Totally
Planatia.
trip hop. I think this is
Yeah.
the most trip hoppy song on the album.
I like it. There's a lot of orchestral stuff. They won a Grammy for this one.
Yeah, I think the instrumentals on this album are really fucking good. Like this and Yoshimi Part 2.
Was it a Grammy?
I think they won a Grammy for the whole album, dude.
Oh. I know they won something for this composition. Like best musical performance or something.
Is
but
Best Instrumental a Grammy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why didn't it go to Yoshimi
I don't
Battles
know
of
if
Pink Robots Part 2?
I don't know if it's a Grammy or not, though.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Dude, that should have been the winner. But I do like this one quite a lot. This is my probably third favorite song on the album.
The song also feels very floaty. Your third favorite? What was your second favorite?
Second favorite is Ego Tripping at the Gates of Hell.
I'm with you. That's a good one. That's probably up there for me, too.
Dope.
All we have is now Yoshimi 2 and Ego Tripping are probably my top three.
Did you say Yoshimitsu?
I said Yoshimi Battles.
Oh.
Part 2. I said Yoshimi
Tekken.
Part 2.
Oh, okay,
Yoshimi
okay.
Part 2. That's what it was.
Fucking going to the Tekken universe.
If I had to pick a weakest song, I don't know. Do you realize I think the song that is most overappreciated? I don't know if I'd say it was the weakest on the album, though.
I don't know what my weakest is. I'd say everything ties at like a 7 out of 10.
7.
Yeah.
No, it was weird listening to this album again, and it was like, because it's been a couple of years since I really sat down with this,
Yeah.
and I didn't like it as much as I used to, but I used to really like this fucking album.
I love it when the horns come in and they have like an awkward kind of lag of an echo.
Oh, totally. Yes. No, it's like they recorded that fucking trumpet in like a little fucking concrete room.
I like this album. I forgot to note that Pavonis Mons is one of 3 volcanoes in a line of volcanoes on Mars.
That's badass.
And I would have liked to have tried to read into this more because I was thinking like, oh, is that maybe supposed to be a connection to Morning of the Magicians, which one of the conspiracies in there was about how Mars and the moon and some other planet are made of glass. I don't know what the fuck that conspiracy theory is, but anything. So there might be something there. I don't know. Probably not.
Okay.
Not yeah. What's your overall summary? It sounded like you were leading towards your ranking there. Were you about to give your?
Yeah.
Does that sound good? Does that sound like drumming?
Yeah, I'm torn. I think
You're torn.
It's a 7.25. I'm torn between 7 and 7.5.
7
7.5.
point.
No, it's a 7.5.
God, I give it a 7.3. we're about on the same.
Same wavelength
Yeah,
there.
it's very close. Yeah. I like it. I think it goes too many directions at once in
Yeah.
a couple of songs to the point that it's like the song itself ends up containing like discordance or rather than something unifying. But no matter what, because there's so many things happening, if you follow the independent lines, there are almost always going to be some rewards.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's just it's a lot of ideas, and then lyrically, I think a little unfocused and a little gay, a little fucking like Beatles, late Beatles, like just smoked blunt, dude. Let's love each other. Right? I feel like it's just I do feel like it's a kind of simple concept of love, also, but I think he displayed at least that philosophy in a good way. He gave us a spin.
He gave us a spin.
Yeah, he gave us a spin through these lyrics, I think. And if it wasn't a perfect spin,
he made a world.
Yeah, you try the ride. I bet some people are going to try it again.
He painted a picture, and kind of wanted us to fill it in, and it was kind of hard to fill in.
Yes, it's like the Tilted world. Like, a lot of the time, you have to contribute to make it as fun as it is.
Yeah.
That's the ride that it is. It's not quite...
It ain't a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's not a roller coaster. It's more of like one of those tilt machines. You've never been in one of those like pods? It's like...
I understand, yes.
Oh, okay. What did I say?
They're very fun.
Did I say Tilt-A-Whirl?
I think that's what
Is that what it's called? Okay.
Where it's like...
When you question it, I was
and
like,
it goes
I don't
up
know
and
what
down on a ramp, and you
Yeah.
have to like fucking shift your weight to get the thing to spin.
Yeah.
So, that was Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robot.
All right, now we get...
Do we have an outro thing, or...
Outro thing? Oh, yeah, we can do an outro thing.
God.
Well, we know
we're
what it has to
retarded.
be. We know what it has to be, the outro.
That was fucking beautiful.
Yeah.